wake up and welcome to another episode here on the Fungal Pod for the MMA Monday. It's Monday, and you know what it means. It's the OG, the MMA Monday back in your life, talking about not just what happened in MMA, but also like more from a media point of view, like what are the stories coming out of it? What can we expect next? Why are things happening? What do we think should happen next? And so on. Before we jump into, of course, the pressing issue or the exciting event coming up this next week, and let's just quickly recap what happened with Sean Strickland versus Jack Hermanson. Well, Sean Strickland played it very safe, but won clean. There was a split decision for whatever reason. Like that judge is ridiculous. So Sean Strickland played it safe, but did I think the best thing possible in the end after he came out is like, okay, I know this wasn't very exciting. I got a bit messed up in my head. The media has gone to me, people talking about like title shots and so on. So it just got a bit too crazy. And I'm like, I don't want to get knocked out. But then he, of course, used lots of insults and so on towards himself as well. And I think that just helps his stock. Like saying, okay, hey, I messed up, I effed up. I wanted to be more exciting. I wanted to check him out. I couldn't because I was just not pulling the trigger. But next time, I promise I'm going to go out and like go out on my shield. He said he's going to go out on his shield. So, and of course, then again, insulting people, but also thanking the fans and then joking with the media and so on. So Sean Strickland, in terms of storytelling, how to use the media, Sean Strickland is doing a great job right now. Sometimes he's a bit too much on the psychopath thing, like killing people and stuff like this. I think he relies on us and the media understanding that he don't really want to kill someone. But of course, sometimes you have thoughts. He explained it in the press conference, like, come on, you never thought about, I want to kill him, motherfucker. And of course, you have those thoughts, maybe. You're like, but you would never do it. And I think Sean Strickland relies on us to understand that he has those thoughts, but he would never do it, of course. Okay, so, but in terms of how to handle the media, he's making friends. He's like, even though he's insulting the media panel, they're all laughing with him as he does it, which is awesome. So his handling of the media is pretty good right now. The story that he's telling is pretty smart. So I think fans and the UFC, I think his contract is done now, so he's going to get a new contract, of course. Because I think the UFC is pretty happy with him right now, how he manages and handles the media, how he's using like his voice, his persona to be on all the channels all the time. So good job, Sean Strickland. If you're looking into like someone who uses the media well, he does it very well and he tells a great story. Whether or not you agree with like the psychopath persona or not, that's up to you, of course, but you can't deny that he's doing a good job at telling a story here. So congratulations to Sean Strickland. Jack Hermanson, unfortunately, he seems very nice in interviews. He seems very nice, polite, but I don't think anyone really cares about him. Like, he needs to find a better angle. Like, even after the fight, he's like, yeah, I couldn't take him down. And so there wasn't any fire. Maybe you're disappointed, understandable. Maybe Bisping shouldn't have interviewed him, but you got to show something, Jack. Like, I mean, something to give the fans and the media to be like, yeah, we're interested in that guy. Sean Strickland found a way, so congratulations. So yeah, let's look at what's coming up. And of course, it's like a huge card in Houston, Texas, once again. And of course, the main event, Israel Adesanya, take this, Ariel Helwani, versus Robert the Reaper Whittaker. Yeah, so yeah, of course, I'm picking Adesanya, but I wouldn't be surprised if Whittaker gets it because Adesanya seems to. I always think that though. He seems like he's lost focus, and then like last time I thought he lost focus was against Costa, and then we saw what happened to Costa. But yeah, so Adesanya always looks like he might have lost some focus. So let's see if he comes around again. I think it's just hard to get motivated for like rematches all the time. But let's see. All right, Whittaker seems to be in a good place now, so let's see if that works, of course. Again here, Adesanya, of course, knows how to use the media, tells a great, compelling story, has his fight camp block up and all those things, just fantastic stuff. Also great production value, by the way, whoever cuts those things, so good job. Robert Whittaker is just not like, he doesn't do much. I mean, right now he does like interviews, but in between that, he's like disappearing, of course, and I don't know, like I'm a big like I lived in Australia for quite a while. I'm a big fan of all things Aussie, 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 Aussie. It's just so hard to get excited for Whittaker, and he's nice. He says the right things mostly. In his last interview with Brian Campbell on Morning Combat, though, like he was asked about the Francis Ngannou issue, the fighter pay and stuff, and he didn't have anything to say about it, which was a bit disappointing, to be honest. Okay, you're in fight week right now, so you don't want to think about stuff, but at least, I mean, it's just one sentence or so. It was a bit disappointing. So I think it's hard to get excited about the person Robert Whittaker. His skill set in the octagon is, of course, fantastic, but just like the story behind him and the persona Robert Whittaker is just hard to get excited about. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's, of course, it matters in terms of like media attention and so on, fan attention and so on. Like when we look at the co-main event, for example, both of the guys, they figured out how to entertain an audience. Like Derrick Lewis, again in Houston, let's hope this goes well for him. Derrick Lewis, of course, with his Instagram and his interviews and stuff, he has the media in the palm of his hand. That's fantastic. Jokes with the audience, jokes with the media members. That's just cool what he's doing. He's okay. On the other hand, we've got Tai Tuivasa, who's now on a bit of a run, and of course, like everyone laughs him with the shoeies and stuff. And every time he doesn't do much media either, but every time he is in the media, he's like having a blast, joking with people. So, and the fans just love to see him because he has this I'm gonna entertain you guys thing, right? So Lewis and Tuivasa both have what Whittaker doesn't. Whittaker probably has a way better skill set, while different weight classes, I understand that. But the fans, I think, they are more into like those personas rather than the person Robert Whittaker. While, of course, real fight fans, martial artists will appreciate if Whittaker beats Adesanya soundly, or if it just beats him, we will appreciate his skill set, right? Of course. But I think to gain like more mainstream attention, he needs to figure something out. Like the third fight on the card with Jared Cannonier and Derek Brunson, of course, huge implications for the 185 pound division. Even though I really don't care. No, not don't care. I think blonde Brunson, of course, is on a tear right now, even though it looks terrible. I'm sorry, Derek. Don't kick my ass, but it doesn't look that great. And Jared Cannonier, well, I mean, his loss to Whittaker sucked for him because this kind of like snapped his streak. But he still has looked good, of course, in all his other fights in the division. And it's somewhat of like a number one contender fight, I guess. But no matter who wins, I would rather see Sean Strickland. And I know Strickland isn't even in the top 5 because he was ranked 7th, and now he beat Hermansson, was 6th. So maybe he slides in some. Of course, who knows how the rankings work. If Brunson wins, I'm so not interested in a Izzy versus Brunson fight. And also Brunson in his media appearances is just like, a bit more interested in Cannonier versus Adesanya, and he probably deserves it. But his media appearances and with his crystal stuff is also a bit out there. But at least he's got some kind of persona going from like the cray crystal guy. But at least it's something. Like Derek Brunson, I'm very sorry to say that, because of course he can kick my ass. But Derek Brunson just doesn't have that much in terms of his persona. And yeah, he's gonna say like, I'm gonna convince with my skills. Yeah, awesome. But what does it help you if no one wants to see you? Unfortunately, so I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's my thoughts here. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Do you agree, or do you think that all doesn't matter? Stop saying those things. Just curious. Okay. What else do we have? Well, we also have one championship coming up. Speaking of who uses the media, well, the main card, and here I'm going to talk a little bit less about the media and a bit more about the fights, I guess, because, well, let's be honest, none of the fighters uses the media really well. One championship does a good job, like keeping their YouTube and especially their IG active, of course, but the fighters don't really do much. I don't even think that most of the fighters. The main event will be bantamweight world championship bout between the champion Viviano Fernandez and you know this guy, the contender John Hands of Steel Lineker gets his. I think he had 2 fights or so in one championship, and now he gets his title shot. I don't know. Lineker didn't look. I mean, he never looked like an awesome martial artist. He just looks like someone who walks through the fire and just punches you really hard. So if he gets his hands on Fernandez, maybe he can take it. But from an overall skill set, I think Fernandez is way ahead of Lineker. But again, if he walks through the fire and just punches him really hard, maybe he takes that. And we also have the interim heavyweight world championship between Anatoly Malikin. Reminds me of what? I forgot. Anatoly Malikin. Yeah. Never mind. That musical. Now I'm totally blank. With Adam Burr, sir. You know what I mean. Anyways, he's fighting Kirill Krishenko. Malikin walked through his last opponent in his last fight, all smiling and stuff. He looked really good. So I'm guessing, Krishenko also looked good, but Malikin was just too impressive, I think. So, I think Malikin takes this. We have a flyweight Muay Thai fight on the card between the general, Jonathan Haggerty, who lost the title fights, but now is back. He lost twice, did he? I think he lost twice, right? To the champ? Yes. But now he's back fighting Monko Petyendi from the Petyendi Academy, obviously. That should be fun. Haggerty always powerful teeps and lots of downward elbows. So expect lots of blood because those elbows cut people really fast. We also have Yosuke Saruta versus Gustavo Ballard. Gustavo Ballard was 150 or so. He's pretty small. No offense, he's really small, but really powerful. That's going to be fun. He's always going to run forward and trying to wrestle people to the ground. So this is going to be fun. What else do we have? We have also Krurong, Dechtamrong So Amnue Siri Chok. It's a really long name. Dechtamrong, his nickname is teacher Kru Rong. His nickname Rong, Kru Rong. It's like a legend here. He must be 40 already or so. He's fighting Mini T, Daniel Williams, who had an awesome showing last time around. He lost clearly, but he fought tooth and nail to the end. It was fantastic. So this should be fun. Kru Rong versus Daniel Williams. This should be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. All right. That's about it. Usually the lead card doesn't have that many famous fighters on there, but usually that's the way you find the nice fights because you don't have any expectations and then they deliver. So let's hope this will be the case again. Last time was pretty awesome, to be honest. Let's see about this. Also, One Championship's version of The Apprentice is on Netflix now. I haven't watched it yet. I think I'm gonna do a review on this just because it kind of fits into the old MMA thing. So maybe next week on the MMA Monday we will talk about One Championship's Apprentice. All right, that's it for now. My thoughts on what happened, what's going to happen this week. Let me know your thoughts, of course, as always. Like, share, subscribe, rate this thing so more people can join the conversation. Don't forget to always keep your guard up. Not like Sean Strickland, who only has his hands down here. Keep your guard up. Take care, stay safe, and we'll talk soon. Sawadee Kap.